What's up, Growth Squad? FanMox here from Game in Your Face, and today I'll be covering a topic that has been getting a lot of beta buzz, and that's the brand new Synergies system. For those of you that don't know, EA has decided to change the way we think about team building in Ultimate Team by trashing what we once knew as chemistry and evolving it into synergy. Basically, instead of trying to match player leagues, teams, or positions, each card now comes with a synergy type. If you have enough cards on your team with a certain synergy, you unlock skill boosts. But while this new shiny system looks good on paper and eliminates the mystery that was chemistry, does it really have that big an impact on your team, or is it just a placebo like many believe the coaches were in NHL 16? Hopefully, my test will help answer these questions for you guys so that you're ready when the full game comes out. I do want to know that this is a beta, so things might change, but I figure that if it works now, it'll work in September and vice versa. So let's get down to business and find out if Synergy really works. Test number 1, Wicked Wristers. All the tests in this video are captured in online ranked HUT games. I try to eliminate as much human error as possible, but since every opponent is different and the slightest move of my thumb could change the outcome of a test, you have to understand that these results are not perfect, but it's the best that I could do. The player I chose to use for this was Phil Kessel. His base wrist shot power and accuracy are 90, and with Wicked Wrister active, they should be 93. So here's the test. I took 40 shots from high percentage areas, also known to some as glitch goals, 20 with synergy active and 20 without. I only counted a shot if I truly believed that I had a good chance of scoring, so no softies to skew results. I did not count one-timers or breakaways, just one-on-one snipes. I also made sure he wasn't fatigued, he wasn't skating at full speed, and that I did not shoot immediately after a deke, as all these things can cause the player to miss. First, I tested with Wicked Wrister off. After 20 shot attempts, with no active synergy, Kessel scored 4 goals, giving him a scoring percentage of 20%. But of the 16 that didn't go in, 8 missed the net entirely, meaning he only got 12 shots on the net. Now, I activated the synergy and tried again. After 20 shot attempts, he scored 6 goals, so he only went up by 2 goals. However, his missed shots went from 8 to 1, giving him 19 shots on net. So after test number 1, I think it's safe to say that we are seeing promising results from active synergy. The 2-goal bump could be counted off as just facing weaker opponents or even weaker goalies, but I think the missed shots speak the loudest. In my books at least, I would say Wicked Wristers is effective, but that does not confirm all synergies. Test number 2, Dirty Danglers. The player used for this test is TJ Oshie. Without Dirty Dangling, he has 90 deking, 88 hand-eye, and 89 puck control. Once the synergy is active, he gets a +3 to all of those skills. This test was much easier to do. I didn't have to get into a perfect area since I can do any deke from any area of the ice. The rules I followed were to make sure he wasn't fatigued and that I performed the deke skating around the same speed and at the same angle. The deke I decided to test with was the between the legs. Again, we start with the synergy not active. After his 20 attempts, he failed 8 and completed 12. Now with Dirty Dangler synergy on, he failed 5 and completed 15. So again, we are seeing that the skill bonus given with synergy is having a small effect. A 3 deke difference doesn't seem like much, but even one successful deke could change the tide of a game. Test number 3, Speedsters. The player I chose for this test was Dylan Larkin. His base speed stat is 90, and with Speedsters active, it is 92. Speedsters only gives a +2, unlike the previous synergies that gave a +3, so I expected much smaller results. I thought long and hard on how to test a player's speed while in a real online HUT game. What I decided to do was go from the red line to the opponent's goal line, making sure that I pressed down on the left stick speed burst as soon as I hit the red line. I also only did the test while Larkin's fatigue was in the green. I then timed the speed in my video editing software so that I could get it down to the exact frame. I did 3 of these and then got the average. So for the results, With no active synergy, Larkin's average time was 3.08 seconds, with his fastest run clocking in at 3.03. Now with Speedster synergy active, his average time went down to 2.79 seconds, with his fastest being 2.29, meaning he shed 0.29 seconds off his average speed and gave us yet another confirmed synergy. But now it gets interesting as we start looking at the team synergies. Many people that watched the EA Synergy trailer heard Rammer talk about the ability to stack two synergies, for example Speedsters and Team Wheel. Team Wheel gives the entire team a +3 to speed, acceleration, and agility. So in theory, if I were to activate Team Wheel and Speedsters, Larkin should have a +5. So let's put that to the test and see if he goes any faster. Test number 4, Speedsters plus Team Wheel. The test here is exactly the same. The only difference is that I turned on Team Wheel. So as a reminder, his average time with Speedsters active was 2.79, fastest being 2.29. Now with the Team Wheel stack, his average runtime was exactly the same at 2.79, and his fastest was also the same at 2.29. So for the first time, we see an active synergy not making much of a difference. But does that mean that Team Wheel is completely useless? Well, to find that out, I decided to test it out on a player with a totally different synergy. Since Team Wheel is supposed to boost every player on the team, I should see some results considering it's a +3 and Speedsters was just a +2, so I tested it on Henrik Zetterberg. He has an offensive juggernaut synergy with a base speed of 89. With TW on, his speed should be 92. So with synergy off, his average time was 3.02, his fastest run was 3.01. Now with Team Wheel active, his average time went to 2.81, fastest run was 2.39. So here we can see that Team Wheel does actually work as intended, boosting all players on the team. However, it was not effective when stacking it on top of Speedsters. Of course, averaging 3 times is not that big of a sample size, and this entire test depends on me pushing the boost at the exact moment the player's skates touch the red line. But personally, I don't believe stacking synergies is very effective, at least not these two synergies, and at least not in this beta. But we do have one more test to go. Test number 5, tape to tape. Originally, I wasn't going to try this one since passing is hard to test. Trying to repeat the exact same pass would almost be impossible with all the factors that go into it. But Danny on Twitter gave me a good suggestion. So for this test, I simply play my regular style and record my passing percentage. Of course, my percent will change depending on the skill of my opponent, but it's the best that I could do to test this synergy. So this is a quick one. After 3 games without tape to tape, my average passing percent was 77.2, and with tape to tape active, it actually went down 1% to 76.4. Now again, I don't think this was the best way to test this synergy, but I did it just because I was curious. I don't think tape to tape would really change a team's passing percentage since that relies heavily on your actual playstyle, but it may make a difference with 1 to 3 passes in a game. So is it worth it to activate tape to tape? That I really can't say, and it'll just be up to your preference. Maybe try it out, and I've heard a lot of people say that tape to tape makes a big difference, so again, that's just, I don't know, that will be plausible. But one thing is for sure, after these tests, I think it's safe to say that activating a synergy does actually make a difference in the game. I only covered 5 out of the 18 synergies in the game, but my goal wasn't to see which one works the best, it was to see if they work at all. So what do you guys think of the new system? I'm sure we can all agree it's already better than the old chemistry, but will you actually be building your team around certain synergies, or will you just ignore it and run the same team you did last year? Also, feel free to let me know what you thought of the way I actually tested these, and if you think there's a better way it could have been done, or if you want to see me do more. As you can imagine, this video did take a while for me to make, so I would really appreciate it if you could activate heavy hitter on that like button and see this bad boy hit 300 likes. That would just be insane. So that's it for this. Hopefully I see you guys back for more NHL 17 videos once the full game comes out. You'll definitely find more player reviews and some new stuff as well with all the exciting things EA has added to their game this year. I'm Famox from Game On Your Face, where I provide in-depth reviews so you can make informed decisions, and I'll see you in the next one.